Hello friends, Satyendra here, and in this video, let's understand blend by doing this part in Creo Parametric. So let's get started. So in my previous video, we understood about sweep, and for sweep, the minimum requirement is we must have one section and at least one path to create the feature. Now this is blend, and here the minimum requirement is you must have more than one section without any path. So here you need to have multiple sections without any path. So when you have one section with a path, it becomes sweep, but when you have multiple sections without any path, it becomes blend. Now when these two combines together, it becomes swept blend. So for the swept blend, the minimum requirement is one path with multiple sections. So one path with one section is sweep, one path with multiple section is swept blend, and multiple section without any path is blend. So mostly when you see the blend, you will see that all the sections, like your first section is somewhere here, then second section is somewhere here, third section is somewhere here, and fourth section is somewhere here. So these four sections are getting blend. So for the blend, most of the time you see these sections parallel with each other and it will be placed one over other. Very rarely you find one section rotated with the other section, because whenever section rotates, there will be a path and it comes under swept blend. So to explain blend, I have couple of examples here. So this is one part, then this is another part, then this is the third part. This is a kind of bottle. So here if you see this feature, this got blended. So a rectangle got blended with a circle and you get this kind of result. Now if you go to this part, you can clearly see here this octagon is getting blended with this octagon, and then this section is blended with a point. And this is my first part. So here I have two different type of blend. One is this blend and another one is this blend. So here you will see four sections blended together to create this feature. And if you go to this blend, here you have two sections. One is rectangle and another one is circle blended together to form this feature. So let's begin with the second part, which is this one. This is a very simple part because this is just a one feature part, and here you will understand some of the basics about blend. And to start it, first you go to new, part, solid, assign the name and say OK. Now to create that diamond shape, I will directly go to blend, sections. Now here you have two options, sketch section and selected section. So if you have predefined sketch or existing face, then you can go for selected section. But if you are creating all the sketches inside this feature, then you can go for sketch section. So in this case, I am going for sketch section because I am creating all the sketch here only. So I will go to define and I select the top datum plane, say sketch, normal, switch off the datum. Now here first I will place the sketch section, which is octagon. So I will go to the palette, I will come down, 8-sided octagon, press and hold left mouse button and drag this section to this position. Then go to the scale factor and make it 10 and say OK. Now to create a blend, the first key thing is your all the section must have the equal entities. So this section is having 8 entities. So all the section must have 8 entities. Then the second key thing is the start point. So the start point for all the sections must be inline. So this you will understand in upcoming session. Now say OK. Once again go to the sections. Now the second section, sketch. One more time go to palette, same octagon. Place like this. Scale factor, this time I will take it 15 and I will say OK. Now for this section also we have 8 segment. Our start point is here. So let's change this start point somewhere here and say OK. Now you see, when you place your start point here, it started twisting. This I will take 5. Once again I will go to the second section, sketch, normal. Make this point as start point and say OK. Now you see, it is moving in straight way. So that is why start point is also critical. Now the third section. So go to insert to add the third section and then go to sketch. This time I will just place a sketch point somewhere here and I will say OK. Now this I will just type -20. So this is the result you are getting. Go to option and here you have two options, smooth and straight. So when you are inside the smooth, you get this kind of result. Make it straight and you will get this kind of result. Say OK and your blend is done. So octagon to octagon and then to the point. Similarly, we will understand blend by doing this part. So for this, once again go to new, part, solid, assign the name and say OK. Now this part I will start with this bottom. So once again I will go to blend, go to sections, sketch section, define, select the top datum plane and sketch, normal, switch off the datums. Now go to the rectangle, the center rectangle, place the rectangle. Now the dimension, so this is 100 and this is 40. Now this is my first section and this is having 4 segments. So all my section must have 4 segments. Now here you have the start point. So be careful about the start point. Now I will say OK. Now once again I will go to the sections. Second section, sketch. One more time draw the rectangle. Same point. Now this is 90 and this is 35. Now change the start point. You must have your start point somewhere here. So from here till here it will blend. Say OK. Now this gap is 15. So make it 15. Once again go to the sections. Second section is over. Insert for third section. And once again go to sketch. Normal. Draw the rectangle. This must be your start point. And this is 70. And this is 30. Say OK. Now the last section, go to insert, sketch, normal. Draw the rectangle. This is your start point. And this is 45. And this is 25. Say OK. Go to options and change it to straight. Now check the gap. So from section 1 to section 2 it is 15. From section 2 to section 3 it is 5, and section 3 to section 4 it is 35. Now say OK. So first blend is over. Now the second blend, and for that first I will switch on the datums and I will create a center axis first onto this datum plane. So this is the center axis. Drag this handle to this bottom plane. This is 90 and this handle to this datum plane. This is 25 and say OK. So you got a center axis here. Now with the help of this center axis, I will create a datum plane. Press and hold Control key and select the bottom datum plane. So this angle will be 120 from that direction and say OK. Now I will use this datum plane to create extrude. I will go to the reference. I will select this axis as a reference. Then I will draw one circle here. Now this is 35. Place to sketch center line like this and like this. Make it 22.5 and this also 22.5. Then go to divide and divide this circle from here, here, here and here. Why I am doing this? Because I am dividing this circle into 4 segments. Because here I have 4 segments and this has to blend with this. So both sections must have equal number of segments, and that is why I have divided this circle. Now say OK. Flip the direction. Now this is 75 and say OK. Switch off the datums. Control D. Now the next blend is between this face and this face. Go to blend, sections. Now here since I have this face and this face, so I will go for selected sections. Now for the first section, I will come down here, I will select this edge, press and hold shift key and select this entire edge. Now this is your start point. You can drag your start point from that point to this point if you want. Then go for insert and then select this edge, press and hold shift key and select the entire edge. Now see the start point, it is here. Drag it this side. Still you move it here. Now this is correct. Now here you go to this yellow dot, right click and make it tangent. So now it is asking the tangent surface. So select this surface. For this side you select this surface. For this side you select this surface. So by this red color it is highlighting the edge. So accordingly you select the surface. Same thing you do here also. Right click and say tangent. For this edge you select this surface. For this you select this surface. For this surface. And for this surface. And you say OK. Now couple of rounds. So go to the round. Select these edges. This is 10. One more round. Then the last round. Now this is 3 and say OK. Now the last feature is the cell. So select this surface, press and hold Ctrl key and select this surface. Thickness is 2, so make it 2 and say OK. And your part is done. Now the next topic is the blend vertex. So sometime when you have multiple sections and the segments are not equal in all the sections, then in that case blend vertex are very helpful. And to understand it, let's blend a triangle with a rectangle. And for this, go to Shapes, Blend, Sections, Define, select the top datum plane, Sketch, Normal. Now first I will draw one rectangle, just like this. This I will take as 100 and I will say OK. Once again go to Sections and say Sketch. Now this time I will add one triangle here. Just like this. Now the scale factor, so I will make it 50 and I will say OK. Now say OK. Now see this statement. This section must have 4 entities. Currently it has 3 entities. So your first section is having 4 entities, so that your second section also have 4 entities. So go to the sections, second section, Sketch. Now in this case I have 3 segments here and for rectangle we have 4 segments. So if you see rectangle, 4 segment means you have 4 nodes here. So this node will blend to this node will blend to this node will blend to this. But the fourth node, which is this one, is not having any node to blend here. So in that case you can create a blend vertex, which is an extra node here. So now this node will also blend to this and this node will also blend to this. Now I will say OK and you see this gap I will take 100. So this is one result. Another result is you can delete this blend vertex, right click and select it and delete it. Now what I will do is I will divide this line like this. I will make it 10. Now I say OK and you see this is another result. Now this node is blending with this node. So I have added one extra node in this triangle. Now let us say I want to blend this triangle with a hexagon. So I will go to Sections, first section, Edit, Normal. Now here instead of this rectangle, I will add one hexagon. Now this hexagon is having 6 segments. Now I will say OK. So now I am trying to blend 6 segment with 3 segment. So in that case, you need to add the blend vertex to the triangle. So one blend vertex is already added. I will add one blend vertex here. Now there is a restriction here. See, when your section is closed, you cannot add a blend vertex to the start point. So if you select this point and say blend vertex, you have created 3 blend vertex, but this will not work. So by the rule, this blend vertex will only work when the sketch section is open. So I'll just remove this blend vertex. So now I have two blend vertex here. This is free. So in this case, what we need to do is go to divide and divide this triangle here. Select this point, right click and say start point. Now you have moved this start point here. Now you can select this point, right click and say blend vertex. But now if you see, you have 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here and 1 point here. So there are 7 points in this section. Now if you say OK, still it will not work because there are 6 points in this hexagon and here in this triangle you have 7 points. So once again go to the sections, first section, edit, normal. Now here also you do the same thing, go to divide, divide this line and move your start point to this point. So now you have 7 points here. Now you say OK and it is working. So this start point is blending with this point and other 3 points are having 2 points. So this point and this point is blending with this point. This point and this point is blending with this point and this point and this point is blending with this point. Now I say OK. So this was the blend vertex and I hope this will be clear. So this is how we do the blend in Creo Parametric and I hope this video will be helpful. Now you can like this video if you find this video helpful and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.